Did you notice some inclement weather today? Maybe because a hurricane was brewing. Maybe England could have probably limped into the World Cup because they had a Kane. Alright, I'll stop. Those jokes are horrible. All jokes aside though, England did fantastic today to somehow manage a victory against Tunisia. They did struggle. They ended up winning the game very late, but Harry Kane scored a couple goals in that matchup, and what a match it was. It was very exhilarating, went down to the wire, and at the very last minute or two, Harry Kane scored that winning goal. So he scored in both the 11th and the 91st minutes of the game. Ferjani Sassi was the one who scored for the Tunisians. That game ending 2-1 in favour of the English. Kane had 2 shots that were on target, and those 2 shots ended up in the back of the net. He did have a shot that was blocked, but for the most part, he did so well to ensure that England ran away with that win at the end. Amrit is saying, Harry Sugar Kane. Yeah, it was a sweet victory for sure. For sure, England will be very happy about the results. Some talking points from this game. England overall had 60-odd% possession, and they dominated possession in both halves of the game. One thing that I think some persons may overlook, and I don't think it's worth overlooking, I think it must be mentioned, is the 10 to 15 minutes that Ruben Loftus-Cheek played in the game. He was substituted on, and he actually won the corner that led to the winning goal from Harry Kane. He worked his socks off for the 15 minutes that he had on the field. He was obviously trying to make an impression, and that he did. You don't make a bigger impression than winning the corner that won the game. I mean, of course he could have scored, but being who he is, not virtually unknown, but not a world-class Harry Kane sort of player, he definitely did come in and do very, very well. England overall had 12 shots in the first half. 6 of those were on target. They kind of slowed down in the second half, as you would expect teams to do. 6 shots in that second half. They had 2 that ended up on target. One of those, though, importantly, of those 2 ended up in the back of the net. That's the important thing. Kieran Trippier, he had a very good performance as well in the midfield. And for the Tunisians, Ben Yusuf did well. He's a midfielder. There are 2 Ben Yusufs in that team. The Ben Yusuf, who is the midfielder, did well. I won't try to pronounce too many of the Tunisian names before I make a fool of myself on camera. I will try my very best to avoid that. The other games that were played today were Belgium versus Panama, Sweden versus South Korea. Belgium is a game that we have to sit down and talk about. We need to discuss what happened today with Belgium. That was a phenomenal game by the Belgians. Many overlooked them, but a select few see the Belgian team as a team that can easily challenge for this trophy. World Cup is no small trophy to win, but the Belgian team is a world-class team, I have to say, and some world-class players were involved today. Romelu Lukaku scored twice. He's been playing so well over the past couple of years. Used to be at Chelsea at one point, but then eventually moving to United and that sort of thing. He's playing out of his skin, playing so well, and those 2 goals today definitely put Belgium in a very good position. Dries Mertens, he also scored as well, but that goal I think kind of overshadows whatever Lukaku did. Yes, the other 2 goals were good, but Dries Mertens just slapped a volley straight into the back of the net, and that was, so far for the World Cup, I think one of the better goals that we've seen. If you haven't seen it, head across to YouTube. It's all over the internet by now. You can see that Dries Mertens goal. It's a super volley. And finally, there was Sweden and South Korea. Trinbagonians would remember the Swedes. Look, there they are. They would remember the Swedes because back in 2006, Sweden and TNT drew 0-0 in that World Cup encounter. TNT could have won it, but hindsight is 2020, so it doesn't make sense dwelling on the past. Today, they played okay as well. They ended up running away with a 1-0 victory against their South Korean opponents. Andreas Grankist is the man who scored that lone winning goal. I honestly hope that I pronounced his name correctly, and but he did end up scoring that goal, which gave them a 1-0 victory. And as we wrap up, I just need to get the tomorrow's fixtures. But as we speak about that, I just want to run through again. It's England 2, Tunisia 1, and Harry Kane scoring a couple times in that game. And we have Russia versus Egypt tomorrow. And then there's also Poland versus Senegal and Colombia versus Japan. Those games, not a lot of big names will be involved, but we're hoping, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, that we can see some Mohamed Salah in action. He was supposed to be, you know, out and about for that first game. It didn't happen. A lot of people were disappointed, but you know, injuries are that sort of thing. You never really know when it's the perfect time to bounce back. But for the Liverpool fans out there, I know that you will be hoping that Mohamed Salah jumps in and scores 10 goals in one game. Who knows? You never know, it might happen. We've seen a lot of amazing and phenomenal things in the World Cup. That's what World Cup football is all about. So hopefully tomorrow we can see some Mo Salah in action. I know Sarah from the newsroom will be the one to do this wrap up. I'm sorry I can't be there tomorrow to do the wrap up with you guys, but Sarah is more than competent enough to handle this, maybe even better than I have. But that's a wrap for Just Kicking It, and we're looking for some more exciting and entertaining World Cup action tomorrow.